when COVID happened, right? And now all of a sudden we have tons of mail-in voting, right? Like it's all mail-in voting now because of this thing, right? Oh, then this is our good intention because we're trying to save people from this virus or whatever. So everyone has to mail in their vote. Look at what that did, right?
Right.
So when we make ways and we make exceptions for certain things, like bad outcomes come from that. So
Right.
even with this, mail-in voting has really messed up our entire election system. And I'm really happy to hear Trump finally saying now, like, that he is actually going to do something about it. Because I know he talked about it on the campaign trail and stuff, but now he's actually president and he is saying that he's going to end mail-in voting.
What do you guys think? If you're in the chat right now, go ahead, throw it in there. If you can and you want to, you feel comfortable. If you don't, no worries, because I know a lot of people are still trying to feel this out. Some people have family members, service members, people like that kind of depend on mail-in voting. So I'm sure
those were already like exceptions. Those were already pre-approved exceptions.
Is this? But would those be
absentee voting?
Would that be?
But the mass mail-in voting that they
Right.
allowed to happen and said it was because of COVID, like that's the kind of stuff we're ending. Like we need paper ballots.
Well,
we can't have this mass mail-in voting stuff.
Well, that's what it would be, a mailed-in paper ballot.
No. Like in person. Honestly, voting day should be a holiday and everybody should get paid time off to go vote, and everybody can do it in person, paper, no machines.
I feel like everybody could agree on that, right? I mean, if you could agree on that, throw it in the chat. If you disagree, throw it in there too about why. Because I would.
Yeah, how are we going to have all these other President's Day and like all these other days off that actually don't do much for our, we're honoring people and things like that. But when it comes to something that's super important, that's going to have a huge impact in our world, in our country, like we don't have a day off for that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Well, especially because there's early voting. So but definitely there should be a day.
Well, even early voting. I don't know how I feel about early voting. I think voting day should just be voting day and everyone should get the day off and everybody's like, yay, it's voting day. We all have the day off. Let's go vote.
I don't have a problem with early voting. I feel like, it is kind of hard. Somebody could get sick. Something could happen. Could you imagine being like, I'm going to vote. Somebody gets into a car accident or something like that. And they literally can't make it to go vote and be like, oh,
yeah, that's a good point.
Oh, like, really? I didn't get to vote? Like, that's crap. And it also makes it easier. Like we saw in Arizona, how people went to go vote and it was like, oh, the machines aren't working. And there was 60 machines for
we should not even have these machines.
And it's like, yeah, right, totally. So, I agree. And other countries have been able to run it without needing the machines.
And we were able to run it without machines either.
The only reason,
recent thing.
Right. The only reason why you would do that is for convenience. We don't want convenience. We want accuracy. Convenience.
No, the only reason you do that is because of cheating.
Yeah, right. Well, the only non-nefarious reason would be, for, convenience. But who cares about convenience? We need accuracy. Right?
Yeah, this is our elections we're talking about. This isn't like some dinner fast food is just more convenient. You know what I mean?
Well, let's see what
Mr. Trump, President Trump has to say.
So between paper ballots, very, very important, paper ballots, and I think maybe even more important, the mail-in voting. We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. If you have mail-in vote, even Jimmy Carter with this commission, they set it up. He said the one thing about mail-in voting, you will never have an honest election if you have mail-in. And it's time that the Republicans get tough and stop it because the Democrats want it. It's the only way they can get elected. Because with men and women's sports and with transgender for everybody and open borders and all of the horrible things, and now the new thing is they love crime. They're fighting me on the fact that I've made Washington, D.C. safe. We're not going to get mugged, beaten up, or killed like all the people you've been watching get so badly hurt. I'm glad. I hate to take your time in this, but I'm glad you asked me that question.
Yes, sir.
We're going to stop mail-in ballots because it's corrupt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he did say paper ballots too. So because there's a lot of machines like in California where you just it's like a touch screen and you just put in your vote, and we don't know if it actually counted as that. We don't know if anyone tampered with the machines. We don't know what happened. Your vote just went into the ether and there you go, you know?
Right. What is the real
that
point
should never be a thing.
How's that an advantage to us to have it, to even open up any possibilities of that, which obviously that does? How is that an advantage? How does that make any sense?
To the cheaters.
Well, obviously, right.
That's how it's the advantage.
I love how
it's literally the only explanation because there's no other reason to do it that way.
I love how Trump's just like, oh, they wouldn't win otherwise. They just straight up said they can't win otherwise. It's like, fair enough statement.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to test his theory is to take all of that away and see who wins. Right?
I love it.
Only way to test it out.
Yeah, well, they're going to keep saying stuff like that about him and about everything. But when the rubber meets the road is when we're going to find out. Now, this is no exception for like the Epstein thing. That's been a hot topic. Everybody's trying to say, oh, Trump's in there, Trump's in there, Trump's in there. Well, let's see what the people who've actually looked at this stuff, let's see what they have to say. Because recently you got James Comer here talking about, now, Bill Barr, if you didn't know.
He was subpoenaed.
And
he came in.
Closed door, you know, what do they call it? Testimony that they doing.
At a hearing?
Yeah, behind the scenes. And he said that he didn't see anything in there that Trump would have been implicated on. So let's see what Comer has to say, and we'll talk about that.
Barr said he's never seen any information that showed that he was in the files, and that he would be shocked if there was anything pertaining to President Trump that was negative that the Biden administration wouldn't have leaked out prior to the presidential election.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point right there, is like, if they did have anything on Trump, they would have put that out before he got to be president again. Like, there's no way they would have just let that one slide.
And this whole point of blackmail is to have something to blackmail somebody with. And
right.
If he was on that list of, you know, doing things with the Epstein, you know, well, I guess we could say it here on Rumble, that, you know, would have been hurting children, they would have obviously used that to blackmail him. And just even the threat of that alone, of just saying, if you run, we're going to release this.
Yeah.
I doubt that he would have ran.
Exactly. Yeah. So they got nothing, and they literally had to make up stories about him to try to stop him when he was on the campaign trail, you know, like, so if they were stooping to that level to make things up and run stories on that, then they obviously didn't have anything on him and Epstein.
Right.
Like, let's be real.
I mean, it just doesn't make common sense. Like, why wouldn't they have already released that to stop him? I mean, they're trying to kill him for crying out loud.
Right. Exactly. Like, it would have been a little easier to take him out with the Epstein stuff.
Right. The DOJ has already cleared him. Virginia Guffrey, the actual victim who brought Epstein down, her testimony, she'd already cleared his name. Everybody who's seen it, the attorney Brad Edwards, even the attorney Dershowitz, had all said there's nothing in there against Trump.
Right. Time
and time again. And like you brought up a good point earlier, people are saying, well, then how come his FBI redacted Trump's name?
How do you know? It's redacted.
Right.
That's the whole point of something being redacted, like, is we don't know what that thing is.
Right. So
how do you know?
It's like simultaneously his FBI and DOJ are corrupt, but they're going to make an announcement.
And now they're turning on him.
Right. Like, it doesn't make any sense, guys. Come on.
Oh my God. TDS at its finest.
Yeah. They're getting pretty darn desperate.
Yeah. Because Trump just keeps doing good things, you know, like he is making peace here and he's making peace there. And the most recent one was pretty cool, actually.
This is pretty cool, guys. Yeah. Check this out. This is, you know, this is just good to see.
These monks for
Dear
Trump.
Mr. President Trump, we are standing here today with hearts full of appreciations for your instrumental role in bringing about the recent ceasefire between Cambodia and Thailand. Today, 70,000 Cambodian Buddhist monks are wholeheartedly supportive of our Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Manet to nominate you for the Nobel Peace Prize in recognition of your historic contributions in advancing world peace. From the bottom of our hearts, we
I love
deeply
the way he says all
thank
this.
you and the people of the United States of America for your kindness. May the Buddha bless you all. Right now, 2,569 Buddhist monks would like to bless you and the First Lady of America and the people of the United States of America a good health and a long life. Thank you, Mr. President.
Yeah. I love it.
Interesting with places that have like all these monks and they're supposed to be like all zen and peace out, like they've been at war.
Well, not the monks.
I know, not
Yeah.
them, but like the places where they're known for like all of that. Like it's just so interesting that they're
Don't they train in
Yeah,
kung
yeah.
fu though? I mean, aren't they the Shaolin monks? I don't know about these Buddhist monks actually. I was just thinking about the Shaolin, like some of the monks they train in actual combat, right? 'Cause
it's just crazy that
producer
like-
Brian,
yeah, producer Brian probably knows.
Right, producer Brian knows just about everything back there. We're gonna have him on the show one of these days. We're gonna have to get a producer cam back there on him.
Right. But the fact that you have all these peaceful monks, right, thanking Trump,
Right.
doesn't that make a huge statement?
You got Amish for Trump. You got monks for Trump. You got
Like literally.
yeah, like it's so interesting how you see like all these lefties being like, he didn't have anything to do with it. Then you see, like I was saying earlier,
What are all these monks saying he does for then?
or you got the Armenian Azerbaijan thing, or that one.
Why are they all coming out
the
making
Costa-
statements thanking him then?
and saying he should be nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize? And
Like,
I think
Trump put him up to it. And he probably paid him out or something.
well, they don't even acknowledge that. They just move right on. That's one thing that the lefties and Democrats do. Their whole strategy is offense.
Yeah.
They don't even waste time to defend anything.
Right?
They
Because then they'll just be like,
Move
oh,
right
but
about
Epstein.
Trump.
What about
What
Epstein?
about Epstein? What about like okay, like can you try to defend anything? No, they can never defend anything. So all they can do is attack,